I want to talk about the ultimate job search checklist because the job market is brutal at the moment. And let's be honest, you can't hit a target that doesn't exist. In fact, even when you do have a clear career goal, achieving it is so much easier when you've got a step-by-step process guiding you all the way. That's why today I'm sharing the exact job search strategy and checklist I've developed after helping hundreds of job seekers secure more interviews and get hired in 60 days or less. But first, the problem. Now you see, the first mistake most job seekers make is that they don't actually know what they're aiming for. They just wake up, scroll job boards and apply to anything that looks vaguely interesting. But that's like walking into a gym with no workout plan, lifting a few random weights, jumping on a treadmill for 5 minutes and then leaving. It's not going to get results long term. So the first thing you need to do is get crystal clear on the role you want. Ask yourself, what job title am I actually targeting? What industry do I want to be in? And what kind of company fits my skills and experience? Because if you're vague, your job search is going to feel scattered and overwhelming. But when you have a clear target, every decision you make becomes so much easier. Now, once you know what you're aiming for, the next step is understanding who is actually making the hiring decision. Because here's the thing, you're not just job hunting, you're boss hunting, and you're solving a problem for a real person, the hiring manager. So who are they? Well, think about it. What's their job title? Are they a manager? Are they a director, VP? What challenges are they struggling with right now? And what are their biggest goals? Because once you know what's keeping them up at night, you can position yourself as the solution. And when you do that, you instantly stand out. Now that's why job searching is just as much about psychology as it is about skills. Now, if you can show that you solve the exact problem that's keeping them up at night, there's a very good chance they'll want you on their team, and they will pay a premium too. So now that we know who we're targeting, let's make sure you've got the right tools to grab their attention. So your resume and your LinkedIn profile are your first impression. So before you start applying, make sure they're in top shape. So create a master resume that highlights your impact. Optimize your LinkedIn profile so it attracts hiring managers, and think of your LinkedIn profile as your digital shop window. If a recruiter or hiring manager stumbles across your profile, they should immediately see who you are, what you do, and why you're valuable. Now, obviously, you'll need to tailor your resume for each job, but having a strong foundation will save you so much time in the long run. And if you need help with either of these elements, you should take a look at my video on how to put these together. And on the LinkedIn side, I actually have a full 12 video series that I guarantee is better than most paid options out there. Now, as a former recruiter, I've spent an unhealthy amount of time reviewing profiles in my time, but it certainly means I know a thing or two about what works and what doesn't. So if you've not yet watched that series, go take a look. I'm sure you'll get a lot from it. But once you have your resume and profile set up, it's time to start setting up some alerts and start building your network. That's right, I still wouldn't jump into job applications just yet. You've heard the saying, work smart, not hard. Well, the reality is that you need a bit of both, but nobody wants to be spending hours doom scrolling and searching for jobs manually. Instead, let the jobs come to you. So make a list of your dream companies and then set up job alerts on LinkedIn and company career pages. Then use a tracker to monitor applications and follow-ups. Now, if you do this right, you'll have a steady stream of opportunities landing in your inbox every day. Now, this is where most job seekers stop. But not you, because while everyone else is stuck applying online, you're going to be doing something way more effective. Now, the first of which is to start building a network of relevant connections who might actually have opportunities for you. And here's where most people go wrong. They either send 0 connection requests and hope recruiters magically find them, or connect with random people because some influencer told them to join Social Saturday or Welcome Wednesdays. Newsflash, that won't get you hired. If anything, it just boosts the influencer's engagement while doing absolutely nothing for your job search. Now, instead, here's what you should be doing. So connect with hiring managers in your target industries. Send 100 targeted connection requests per week, and then track how many relevant people you're adding to your network. Even if half of them accept, that's 200 potential employers added to your network every month. And trust me, that is way more valuable than having a feed full of old college friends or random strangers. Now, this step is crucial because the bigger your relevant network, the more opportunities you'll start seeing in your feed. So now you'll have two streams of opportunities. One stream getting delivered to your inbox via the job alerts you've set up, and another popping up in your feed instead of falling down a rabbit hole of random cat videos. Okay, so all you need to do is start applying and keep a track of your progress, but not like you've done before. And it's this step that most people miss or fail to execute correctly. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You submit a bunch of online applications and hear nothing back. Then you submit a bunch more and still hear nothing. Then a bunch more and get nothing again. All of a sudden, you've sent hundreds and you're begging to wonder what's going wrong. Well, the truth is, it could be a number of things. The main one being that when there's hundreds of people who meet the requirements, the hiring manager only has time to interview so many. And this is why you must learn how to bypass the ATS. So instead of blindly applying, here's what you do instead. So send direct outreach messages to hiring managers. Bypass the ATS and go straight to the decision makers. Now, members of my Career Growth Accelerator program get help with all of this, including exercises to create career clarity, message templates that actually get responses, and a habit and application tracker to keep tabs on their results. Now, if you want the same as well as my one-to-one support to stop you overthinking, just check the link in the description below and book a call with me directly. But right now, let's focus on the next item for your checklist, because if you're like some of my clients, your results could change overnight. For instance, one of the guys I worked with secured 6 interviews in 6 days after implementing these steps. Now, I do have another video where you can learn more about his story, which I'll link below. But at this point, if you're following this checklist, things move fast. So next we need to talk about how to prepare for interviews, how to follow up the right way before we talk about the last item on the list, which will help you move from chasing employers to having them chase you. So firstly, you'll want to ensure you're prepared for the most common question of all, because I can almost guarantee your interviewer will ask some variation of the "tell me about yourself" question. Now, you should also research common interview questions for your industry, prepare STAR method responses for key achievements, and then practice salary negotiation strategies. And not forgetting research. So research the company, their mission, and recent news. And then finally, prepare thoughtful questions to ask the interviewer. Now, of course, in addition to preparing for your interviews before it's too late, you also need to have a follow-up plan, or 2 follow-up plans really. One to follow up on your initial outreach, and one to follow up after your interviews with a short thank you note. Now, again, members of my program get my personal templates for both scenarios, because thank you notes aren't about making up for what you forgot to say in your interview. They're about reinforcing the decision to hire you. So again, keep it brief and confident. No just checking in or "I know you're busy" messages, okay? Now, while following up is key, there's one last thing that can completely change your job search. Leveraging social media so you add even more opportunities to your job prospect pipeline. Because let's be honest, nobody actually wants to spend hours applying for jobs. Instead, imagine if employers and recruiters started reaching out to you. Because guess what? That happens all the time to job seekers who know how to position themselves online. And it it's not complicated. It comes down to 3 types of content. Entertaining content, so stories of industry humor that get attention. Valuable content, quick tips and insights that show your expertise. And then credible content, so success stories or results that prove you're great at what you do. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Lucy, I'm not an influencer. I don't want to post all the time. And you don't have to. Just one post in each category a week is enough to start getting you noticed. But only if you paid attention and followed step 5 on the checklist. Now, do you remember what that was? You got it. Taking advantage of your 100 invites to fill your LinkedIn network with relevant people. Now, whether it's 100, 200, or maybe even more hiring managers you've added to your network, it's these people who are going to start seeing your posts. Now, when they see your posts, they'll see your profile, and when they see your profile, they'll see you as a solution to their problems. And it will all appear like it was just meant to happen to them. But in reality, it's a result of you carefully checking off each of the steps we've just run through. So to recap, get clear on your target role. Know your job title, industry, and ideal company. Boss hunt. Don't just job hunt. Find out who's actually hiring and what problems they need solved. And then optimize your resume and LinkedIn profile. Set up job alerts. Build a network of relevant connections and always attempt to bypass the ATS instead of using Easy Apply. Prepare for your interviews in advance and follow up in the right way. And then leverage social media to position yourself as someone employers are trying to headhunt. So that's your checklist. And if you want my direct support, templates, and a proven system to land your next job or build your personal brand in the next 60 days, click on the link in the description and let's get to work. For now, if this was helpful, like, subscribe, and drop the word checklist in the comments and I'll send you a downloadable copy of this. I'll see you in the next one.